Hello, St. Andrew. I got a call this morning that got me to thinking. It seems like there's such different distance now between people, and yet such an unexpected measure of intimacy too. I got a phone call from a colleague, person who I'd been in ministry with together, an optimistic person who was weeping and grieving. Seems like the last bit of information that kind of pushed him over the edge from his usual buoyant self was that his garden had been destroyed. He had a sprayer that was inadvertently contaminated with weed killer, and his plants are a mess. And that was like the final straw of all of these changes that we're facing. I recall the last call that we had several weeks ago. We were more in touch with our anger at that time, and just impatient not only with the events of the epidemic itself and the circumstances of the sheltering in place, but the whole political mess that we're in, and uh, how how easy it is to have an opinion. But today, not so much anger, not so much fear, even as grief. The distance, the challenges, the loss, including the loss of his garden, had pushed him away from those other feelings and into grief. And as we talked, I discovered that I really didn't have much comfort to offer. We both ended up crying over the phone. But that itself was a blessing. We started talking about this process from anger and outrage and effrontery, touched by self righteousness and maybe self pity, to the fears that underlay the anger. Will we meet each other again? What will our health be like for those and for those whom we love and ourselves? How will our lives be changed? What is the future? What to fear? But beneath that, it seems to me, when fear is given serious attention, there unfolds the realm of grief. And one of the things that I did after our conversation and sharing was send him a poem by David Whyte called The Well of Grief. I'm going to share it with you. It goes, "Those who will not slip beneath the still surface on the well of grief, turning through its black water to the place we cannot breathe, will never know the source from which we drink, the secret water, cold and clear, nor find in the darkness glimmering the small round coins thrown by those who wished for something else." In a sense, we all have deep longings, hopes, plans for the future, expectations. And those are the small coins, the glimmering gold coins at the bottom of the well of grief. There's no way to get to them now, except by letting us plunge into those deep waters, to the place we cannot breathe, beyond our native optimism and our plans and our hopes, to the deep and profound acceptance that things have changed for us and will not go back, and that we have lost things that are precious and sweet to share. But if we do permit ourselves to grieve, here's the gift. Grieving takes us to the world as it is. And that may not seem much of a gift at first, but it's actually solid grounding. First, in humility. The world as it is, we don't control. We merely share. And when I say merely, that in itself has a great deal to do with the coins that are tossed by those who will not grieve, this wishing well, this well of grief. Because what is beyond wish and hope for the future, whatever it may bring, however different it may be than we imagine, when we share that grief and take that dark journey together, what we discover is an intimacy that wouldn't otherwise occur, an openness to one another at a depth that's rarely demanded. And when we share the world as it is, we share our courage and a solemn foundation, and a God that is not magic, but dwells with us in the realm of reality, in the world as it is. What we take with us into an uncertain future, which in fact was uncertain all along, is a renewed appreciation for friendship, for faith, for compassion and forgiveness, because this is the path we all carry, all take. And finally, for love. My friend's phone call, troubling and painful, was a gift that in no small measure helped restore me to myself in these troubled times. Well, I wish that all of you stay safe and well and share this thing that we call friendship and fellowship with one another. Amen.